Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Migrant Mayhem. With yours truly, DJ Wonder Chrissy. There you go. Ow! Ow! We're gonna talk a little finance. We're gonna bring the bongos down. There we go. We got the bongos a-bongoing. Okay, so welcome. I am the DJ, and this is Land Cruiser Midwest. Hope you're having a good Father's Day. It is Father's Day. It is June 16th, 2024, and today's topic is why there will always be people that you know that are poor, no matter what. In case you guys have been following the channel the last couple of years, I've been trying to impart some financial wisdom on people through this channel a little bit. And let me just say that in my conversations with people, off the channel here, as I go through life, and we meet people in the restaurant industry, we meet people in the service industry. It's painfully clear that financial education is not being taught in our schools, high schools and colleges, grade schools, any school at this point, unless you seek it out. I think personally you can probably get yourself a pretty good education on the tube here about finances, just by searching things out personally. But it's been confirmed that by my discussions with multiple people from multiple places, that school just doesn't do it anymore. So it's kind of, you got to think about it this way: if we haven't taught these people anything, there is a point in their lives where people cannot absorb anything. Okay, and nor will they seek it out. So I think we're at the point, even though we've got a lot of smart people out there, there's a lot of smart people who graduate college. There's a lot of people that don't graduate college and they're still smart. But they're fiscally irresponsible. These people are fiscally irresponsible. And let me tell you, I know some of them for decades. There's a lot of people who just like to keep up with the Joneses. Have you heard that one? I know people who have had to have their credit cards reset. Okay, that's basically rolling it over into a refied mortgage back in the 2000s, right? And in the early 2000s, when interest rates were low, people would just take their credit card debt and wipe it clean and throw it into a refinanced mortgage and move on like that without having any big bumps and bruises on the way. I know people that have done that several times, and they're highly educated. They have master's degrees in various things, and they still can't manage their money. I know people who on the edge of retirement are buying new and bigger houses only to potentially lose them or take a hell of a haircut here as the real estate market here in Illinois is getting ready to fall immensely. The bubble is getting ready to fall, so I don't recommend buying a house at this point in time. Pretty much throughout our nation. I mean, prices are just overinflated. The bubble's getting ready to burst. And hey, I'm not giving financial advice. Let's just say that. I'm just telling you my observations as I talk and chat to people, as I live my life here as a YouTube content creator. And like I say, we dabble in lots of things. I have a background in financial systems, so that's why I like to dabble in finance and helping people to recognize where they need to make change so that they can pull themselves by the bootstraps out of poverty and the working poor. It's possible, folks. It's possible, but what I'm here to tell you today is I've come to the realization that being poor is not just being poor. It's a mindset. It is a mindset. I can tell you that there's many people that I've come into contact with in the years, and if you gave them $10,000, the majority of them would blow it. They would spend it on something that they really didn't need, something that they wanted, an expensive purse, a new fancy watch. Very few people would save any of it. Very few people would put it towards their credit card bills that they had that are ballooning. Many of the people would go out and they would apply it to a new card that they couldn't afford to begin with. So it's sad that we have this whole generation. Let me restate that. We have generations, not just one generation. Because the people in my generation that are just financially illiterate, or I think they just don't care. I think they are literate, but they just don't care about their finances. And they're at the point now where they haven't saved for their retirement, and they're not going to. So they're just whistling past the graveyard, waiting for something bad to happen. And I'm here to tell you, the way this economy is going, there's something afoot, folks. The numbers are pointing to bad things ahead. We're seeing repos go up. We're seeing the increase in financial vehicles that people should be staying away from, like mortgage arms. That's adjustable rate mortgages. Back in 2007, 2008, 2009, the great financial crisis, there was a lot of wealthy people who really planned their own demise by purchasing large houses with very little down. Some of them would use second mortgages for their down payment, and the first mortgage was an adjustable rate mortgage. Well, if you do any research on the great financial crisis, mortgages, as you would expect, spiked up for many years. Housing prices went down, and when those mortgages adjusted, like every 7 years, you have to refinance those arms usually. 5 to 7 years. So when came time to refinance those mortgages, some of these people saw 30-40% reduction in asset that they had no equity in. I just watched a video of a gentleman who purchased a $1.1 million home in Palm Desert, only to lose it 3 to 4 years later when he was $400,000 underwater. Yeah, let me say that again. This guy bought a 1.1 million mansion on a golf course and all the trimmings to go with it, only to lose it 3 to 4 years later when the value of the house plummeted to $600,000. That's a 45% decrease in value. He ended up just walking away from it. He did put it on the market for people to purchase at a short sale, but the creditors that he had, the two loans that he had two loans. He had a primary mortgage and a secondary mortgage on the initial equity of the house. When he found a purchaser for the fair value of the house, he had several of them, the creditors denied it. And shortly thereafter, he moved out of the house, giving the keys to the lenders. So this gentleman was a real estate lawyer. He was in the business, but he wasn't paying attention. He wasn't paying attention, and he thought his business would always be booming no matter what. But going back to 2008, 2009, things came to a screeching halt. Right before things got bad, and I don't know if there really was I think there was a bubble burst. I mean, Lehman Brothers went down, the credit markets froze up. Things were bad, folks. Things were bad. But the first thing, the last thing I remember before the bubble burst in 2007, 2008 was they were offering interest-only loans to people. Yeah, interest-only loans where all you had to do was pay something to cover the interest. These loans assumed that the value of your house was going to go up. That was the last rinky-dink concept mortgage. That's how wild things got during 2008, 2009. They were handing out mortgages like they were candy, folks. Let me just say that. I knew at least a couple of people who never should have gotten a mortgage, were not eligible, but through the various financial wranglings and lack of regulation, were able to get a mortgage for various reasons. I also knew a guy who was in the business at the time, as we say. He used to put together loan application packages for a big bank, which they would present to Wall Street on a daily basis to sell. And he said one of their biggest products was stated income loans, where they would give you a loan with no proof that you had any income or assets to back it up. All they had was some documentation that the mortgagee or the person getting the loan had stated that they had a job and how much that they made. Kind of crazy, right? Kind of crazy. Do you know anybody today that would operate like that? But my friend who worked in a company for probably a year where they did this said the majority of the mortgages that were applied for through their organization had these types of lax rules. And these people got mortgages. And sometimes things got really bad, and the property that these people bought in the bad times, there was organized fleecing going on. There was people selling houses for 2, 3, 4, 5 times the value, and these companies were giving people loans to buy these properties that didn't even come close to matching the loan in value. So you got to be wise, folks. You got to be wise. And I'm here to tell you that if someone is in their mid-20s and hasn't learned how to be fiscally responsible and doesn't want to learn about finances and how finances can help them become wealthy, how they can accumulate wealth, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It takes too much effort and time to learn. And let's just say that today people are not interested in putting out effort and time to much of anything, let alone their work. They're not going to spend time trying to educate themselves on finance. That's what I've come to learn. I did a little bit of a survey recently where I started asking people that we came in contact with within the service industries that I interact with, whether or not they had or knew what a Roth IRA was and whether or not they had one. I'm sadly to report that out of the 10 people, at least 10 people I asked this question to in the last month and a half, only one had a Roth IRA. The rest of them didn't even know what a Roth IRA was, and certainly they did not have one. Some of these people were college students. The one that had one, she was a college student, and the reason she had it was her parents. Her parents had taken it upon themselves to set her up with a Roth IRA, and she was happy. But the rest of the people that I've come in contact with and surveyed on this matter had no idea what a Roth IRA was, had no idea that what benefits this could give them in the future. And but these people are quick to say how they're tired of being poor, right? They're tired of being poor and working slaves or the working poor, but yet they don't want to do anything about it, right? Besides complain. It's sad. It's sad, but I see, in my 30 years of a journey to retirement, in the 30 years that I've been traveling down the road to retirement, I've seen a lot of people who are just lazy, folks. Financially lazy. People who just don't get it. And they're not disciplined. They are not disciplined. They could become wealthy with a little bit of discipline. These people aren't poor. These people are not poor, but they are. Does that make sense to you at all? I see a lot of people out there who have money and spend it frivolously on stupid stuff, okay? Stupid stuff that they don't need, or stuff that they could probably get a lot cheaper somewhere else. but they're quick to pull the trigger on any type of spending, and rarely save anything. They take all they live paycheck to Monday, folks. Some of these people are college educated, working in Fortune 500 companies, and yet they can't save any wealth to save themselves. And I'm here to tell you that. So I hate to bring you bad news like this, but this is just some revelations that I've uncovered, and I've been thinking a lot about it lately as we are generating multiple generations who are incapable of handling their finances for various reasons. They're uneducated. Their financial role models, who are their parents, can't save money to save themselves and are heading for a retirement catastrophe themselves. So, figure out where that one's going, right? And we just heard this week that the Social Security Administration's looking to cut Social Security in 2033. They'll be cutting $325 out of everybody's Social Security paychecks come 2033 if they don't make some type of adjustments. So you got that to look forward to. The new generations are not going to have Social Security to be part of their stool. Their three-legged stool, which is really not even, it's like a half a leg now. So help yourselves, folks. That's all you can do. You've got to educate yourself. You've got to start getting out of debt, saving money, and investing in yourself, and investing in some decent assets, and being a little smart about it, okay? Don't go out buying cars and boats and homes right now. Wait for those bubbles to burst, and you're going to get a lot of deals. Deals are coming, folks, but the bubble has to burst first. Okay, remember that. That's the saying. The bubble has to burst first. So I'm sorry I went long today. I'm going to end it right here. Hope you learned something from this. Hope you got something you can take away from this to help your life and to make you more profitable on your journey through wealth, okay, in life. So it's DJ Wonder Chrissy over and out. Happy Father's Day. This is Migrant Mayhem at Land Cruiser Midwest. See ya.